What kind of person would you want to be around? Who would it be who you would like to spend all day around? How would they act? How would they think? What beliefs would they hold? You see, we all have some form of idea about an ideal person, or a person who is just amazing to be around. How would they respond to problems? How would they interact with other people? Would it be respectful? Would it be deep? Or would it just be some kind of nonsense small talk and not even really noticing the other person? How would it feel to be around them? How would they make other people feel? And how would they behave? What kind of stuff would they do all day long? Would they lay on the couch and watch Netflix or something like that? Or would they be out there and gather skills and have fun and run around? What would they do? How would they think? How would they approach life? Would they think that, yeah, life is just a drag and yeah, you have to get up in the morning and go to work? Or would they think, wow, it's another day and I'm happy to be alive? Or how would they think about humanity? Would they be positive and say, well, would they have this belief that humans generally are good beings, and when someone's doing something bad to them, they would think, well, yeah, that's an exception? Or would they be the other way around? Would they say, well, human beings are just generally bad, and when someone's doing something good to me, that's just an exception? So, what kind of life philosophy would they have? And also, how would they look? How would they carry themselves? Actually, what we're talking about here is not really other people. What I want you to do today, or whenever you have the time, is craft your ideal story protagonist, call it that. But not for other people, not for looking for someone who is like that, but for yourself. Because very often what we lack is a view on ourselves from the outside or from a bird-eye perspective. You know, when we go through life, we have this inside perspective where it's, you're looking like an ego shooter perspective. You're looking from your eyes out and you have the thoughts that constantly run and you're like, oh my god, I have to do like this and I have to do that and there's this person and yeah, right, I needed something from him, and you have this constant stream of subjective perspective going on. And very often when we just follow that stream, we lose the bigger view of seeing us in the environment and how the environment responds to the things we're doing inside that stream, and how we could respond differently if that stream wasn't so constant and so present. So having a bird-eye perspective is very often easy to have on other people because you see them from the outside, right? But for ourselves, it's harder. And so, if you're in a situation, just take a look at, okay, if this was a story setting, if this was some kind of TV show you would be watching, and you're sitting on the couch and you're just watching this guy or girl go through her day, and there's this situation coming up on the screen. How would you want them to respond? Not yourself. How would you want them to act, to behave, to think, and what kind of attitude and behavior? Should they respond in any situation? Should they respond lightheartedly and not making a big fuss about it? Or should they become really serious and captivated and just pulled into the situation? What would make sense from an outside perspective? And not only do this for single situations, but also do it for your life as a whole. You can really do this. It's a fun exercise. Just take some time and maybe a sheet of paper if you want to write it down and say, okay, I'm gonna write a novel or a TV show or just a short story, whatever you want to imagine. I'm gonna write a story right now about a guy or a girl who is living this amazing, fulfilling, worthwhile life. And I'm gonna craft his or her story. Well, naturally, if you were crafting a story, what would you begin with? The protagonist. Who would he or she be? And you see where we're going with this. You can craft first your personality, the way you want to look, the way you want to feel, the attitude you want to have. Do you want to smile a lot? Or do you want to be proud about yourself? Or whatever it is for you. Just craft your ideal character. And then, of course, next step, you can craft your ideal life. And the key here is what really makes it more fun and easier is not to think of it as you for a moment. You see, we have a different view on ourselves than we have on outside people or also fictional people like from TV shows. So don't craft your life in the first stage. Just craft a story. Something you would see on TV. You're writing the next cinema blockbuster. You're writing the next novel. Just design such a life, because what makes it easier is also that we're used to, when we're reading a book or seeing a TV show, we're used to that story usually having certain characteristics, because stories on TV usually not boring. Stories on TV or in books usually have some kind of meaning behind them. The characters have meaning and very often purpose and goals. So crafting a book or a TV show can help you with getting those life essentials. You know, stuff you probably wouldn't necessarily define for your own life. Like, I wonder how that person just trains himself for the stuff he wants to do, you know? We see that in TV shows a lot, that, okay, people have this quest and they want to do that, and before they start, they're training. But in our lives, for ourselves, we go, oh my god, I have this goal, I want this, and I want it, but I don't want to train for it. So you're not designing your life, you're designing someone else's life, a character's life, who will then go through the stages. And this detaches the emotions from it and the response of, I want the goal, but I don't want to train for it, for example. Or like it just detaches the fears and the barriers you could have from the stuff you might want to do in the story. So this makes it easier to get just a bird-eye view on your own attitude, on your own character, also on your own physique. How would your ideal character look? How would he behave? And also on the ideal life, you know? If your goal is to craft, and it should be your goal is to craft a worthwhile journey that it's really amazing to watch, you know? That you would want to sit in front of the TV and just observe that amazing character, how he or she goes through life and just has these experiences, and something you would want to watch yourself, you know? Because if you want to watch it, very often you want to live it too, you know? You wouldn't watch something on TV that's just this boring routine of every day the same stuff. No, you want something where either the character is so exciting that he or she makes the story exciting, or where the story is so exciting that you watch for the story. So get something that's really worth watching, because that probably will also be worth living.